Hey guys, what's going on? This is Deadly, and today it's our Q&A day. So every Sunday on the channel, I kind of answer your guys' questions on the comments that you leave on my videos throughout the week. So if you guys want a chance to get your questions answered live on this video next week, then make sure that you leave a comment in this video comment section or on across any of my YouTube videos. The first comment comes from Josh, and this is in response to my Adventures with Minder and Aces Part 3. And what ended up happening was he was talking about the discussion when we were talking to the survivor after Aces just got executed. All three of you guys show nothing but yourselves in KOS when worked together, but then expect a guy to apologize for his friend to KOS. Gotta love that logic. Can't honestly remember a single time when you guys KOS somebody and told them you were sorry, or let alone for what you did to the other two. Okay, and I actually wrote a response to this question, but I want to kind of make this into the video because I think it is important if you watch live streams, especially with DayZ. You got to remember that this is a roleplay game. So put yourself in the role of the survivor. We really don't care when other players kill us. Like, let me just make that clear. If another player kills me in PvP, or if another player kills me in an RP fashion, or another guy trash talks me, we really don't care. But you have to put yourself into position of a survivor, and of course, if your friend in a survival situation gets straight up executed by like two guys, then you gotta play that role. You gotta tie him up, you gotta interrogate him, you gotta ask him why he did that. Even though that you are killing other players yourself, of course it's part of the game. So I see a lot of people who get very salty at this type of stuff. So I just want to make it very clear that when we do interrogate players after they've killed one of our own and we seem a bit harsh, it's just we're playing that role of that survivor group or that bandit group that is just trying to redeem their fallen ally. So just want to make that clear. I know it's a really good question or a really good comment because I get asked, or people kind of write that a lot in my channel, and I want to make sure that you guys know our stance on that stuff. Alright, now this is a response to all of the people who are asking me, who's the Overwatch, who's the sniper, who's the guy with the crazy communication in all of my videos? That is AcesFury. And I try to promote that as much as possible because the guy is a really good friend, he's a very good DayZ player, and one of the best Overwatch players I've ever seen. And a lot of you guys agree with that. Even Reddit, I posted a video of the very intense Mishkino PvP on Reddit, and everybody was like not interested in me. They were all like, who is this guy? Who is Aces? So a link to his channel is in the description box below. Go there, give him a follow, and we're playing together. Don't watch me, watch his stream, because a lot of the time he is the one who finds the players, he's the one who spots them, and I am the one who moves in CQB while he is on Overwatch and sniping them from afar. So a lot of the time, because I am filling that CQB role, I get to see the players more than he does, but without his Overwatch, I wouldn't be able to move in without thinking that I'm going to get ambushed or flanked on a really odd angle because he's got my back. And I think we make a very good team, and I want to do better at making both of the perspectives in the videos in the future. It can just be a little bit difficult to capture both perspectives at a high enough quality and still upload videos on a daily basis. A lot of people that do the multiple perspective stuff, those are really big projects that can take a couple days to edit. So I do plan on doing that stuff though in the future because Aces is totally down. I got a question from I Kill a Blend Ninja. What is your favorite gun in DayZ? I actually have a video, my top 5 favorite weapon setups in DayZ. I'll put a link to that in the description box of the channel. But to just kind of make a quick answer, my ultimate favorite weapon has to be the Mosin Nagant PU compensator. There's no other gun in the game that I have done so much with, especially just from it's been in the game since the very beginning, and very few weapons have that title surrounding them. So ever since the beginning, the Mosin has been one of my go-to weapons. I would say second to that is the AK-74. There's just something about controlling that recoil and having that rate of fire that I really like, opposed to the AKM, which is more of a 1 or 2 shot burst and you have to sort of reset every single time. So those are my weapons that I really enjoy, but to have an in-depth video on that, in the description box below, check it out. Steve, yo man, you gotta ask me some questions, dude. You can't just say I wish my comments got answered. Leave something in the description box, man, and I'll try to remember to put you in next time. Got a question from Michelle Meadows. Do you think DayZ will ever add ways to track players like blood or footprints? Yes, that is something that I remember Dean Hall even talking about all the way back in 2014. I think that's something that's going to be way late into the game, like into beta phase, a feature that will most likely make it in at the very final stages of development. I don't think we're going to be seeing that anytime soon. There is already footsteps. If you're walking on a paved road, look down, you actually see your footsteps that get tracked along your path. But when you have like 50 players on the server and you're already having performance problems, the server is going to have some issues keeping track of every single footprint by every single player. So that's something that they're going to have to figure out down the road, but we haven't heard anything about that lately. But it was discussed a while ago. I do remember that. Got a question from Derpy. What headphones do you use? I use Astro A40s. Not endorsed to say that, but Astro, yo man, give me a... Definitely check me out, dude. Astro team, come on, give me an Astro sponsorship. I've been using Astros for like years, but the microphone that I use as well is a Blue Yeti microphone, a condenser mic, and I've had this same condenser microphone for 6 years. I got a common question from Iconic Panzer. How do you get the best frames with very bad graphics cards? Sorry dude, video games, especially on PCs, don't necessarily work that way. If you have a really outdated old card, you can't really expect to play new video games very well. But the thing about DayZ and Arma style games, they're not very GPU intensive. They're extremely CPU intensive. That means that even if you have like a GeForce 770, 970, 1070, you're going to need to have a decent CPU to go with it. So if you're struggling to have frames, if you're struggling to get good frames, there's lots of videos on YouTube. I have a video to show my settings, but honestly, you're probably going to have some problems until you get a PC upgrade. Speaking of settings, I got a question from Joshua Saul. Yo dude, could you show us what video settings you're using to run DayZ? I thought it would have been shown in this video because of the title. Thanks. Yeah, sorry man, that might have been a little bit misleading. I don't have a video on it because all you need is an imager link. So I'll include the imager link in the description box below. Go there, you'll see my configuration file settings. This is for, keep in mind, a i7 6700K and a GeForce 970 graphics card. But, you know, DayZ does run reasonably well on all mid-tier gaming computers nowadays. So if you have a reasonably new or like a gaming computer that you've purchased in the last 3 years, you shouldn't have any issues running DayZ. Even going back, there was nothing wrong with my old computer. I bought that back in like early 2012 and it was still running DayZ fine. My problem with it was doing a lot of encoding at the same time, so I needed a really good CPU upgrade. Next question comes from DJP Gaming. Will you do some live streams on YouTube? Unfortunately not. As a Twitch partner, it is in my agreement with Twitch that I'm only to stream on Twitch. Even though I have the YouTube live streaming feature enabled on my channel, I'll only be doing live streams on Twitch. But that's not a bad thing, because I really don't like YouTube gaming, and I really don't like YouTube's live streaming platform, so that's a win-win. Although I will concede that there's really no, to my knowledge, bitrate limits on YouTube. There are on Twitch, so you are able to stream at like 1080p, 60 frames per second, but to the point where like almost nobody's gonna be able to watch it live unless you have a crazy fast internet speed. So anyways, I'll be sticking to Twitch, no YouTube live streaming, at least for the time being. Alright guys, the last question of the day comes from Max Murphy. Why are they adding new stuff when zombies in the zombie apocalypse game are not fixed? That's a very good question, very honest question, and I'll give you guys a response, at least in my opinion, and from what I have seen, the responses from the developers at various events like PAX and E3 when they get asked this question, because this is actually a very common question. Mainly, I know this is going to sound super cliche, so just bear with me. DayZ is an alpha, although in my opinion, that doesn't safeguard it from criticism. It is still an alpha game, and the idea is to add as many features as possible in the alpha version of the game, and then once it reaches beta, really crush down on fixing those bugs and performance. So once the game has all of the features, the helicopters, the vehicles, the cosmetics, the weapons, then they go in and make sure that everything is working hunky-dory. That's a pretty standard development cycle, and we're just experiencing it on the go. That's what happens with these early access titles. But man, I'm not defending that. You know, we know that early access titles are overdone these days. And I am one of those strong believers that yes, although it is an early access alpha, it is not safeguarded against any level of criticism. So, and they know that, you know, the developers are usually pretty open with handling very difficult questions and criticism. And DayZ is one of those games that does experience a lot of criticism, and it should. There are lots of issues with the game, but hopefully down the road they will get fixed and the game will become better. Well guys, that sums up this week's Q&A. If you guys want your questions answered on next Sunday's video, then make sure that you ask me something in the comment section below. It can be about DayZ, it can be about other video games, it can be pretty personal. I'm pretty open about most things, so definitely do ask me some questions in the comments, and I'll see you guys next week for some more Q&A. And tomorrow I got a really awesome kind of free-for-all deathmatch in Cherno video that I'm going to be uploading with all the Derp Squad members. Really exciting, a lot of fun, and I know you guys are going to enjoy it. Alright guys, I'll see you later. Have a good one.